Hi, Shane Serson here with a hot topic or a discussion point. I'm really interested in your opinion on this. As you know, if you watch my videos, I've been doing a whole lot of stuff talking about shuffles and leading to a point that will come up at some soon, I guess I'd say. And so a gentleman sent me a question or a disagreement about saying that something wasn't a shuffle. The particular video it was based on was I Can't Get Enough Your Love by Bad Company, in which it is not a constant thing in the shuffle. It's actually just quarter notes in the hand, and then the snare is just a backbeat, but the bass drum's broken. He said that's not a shuffle, it's a swung beat. In theory, yes, it is a swung beat, but all a shuffle is a swung beat as well. So my thing is, there are so many types of shuffles, in my opinion. We all know the basics of what we call the blues shuffles, which usually have a connective tissue of this. We also have that 12/8 feel where we have contra triplets, 1, 2, 3, 4, that many people still call a shuffle. And then we have people that play a jazz ride pattern as the leading or the ride pattern in a shuffle, often just called a jazz shuffle, but it's still a shuffle. And then we have rock shuffles that utilize all that, or even just quarter notes sometimes. Ducka, 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 ducka. And they shuffle maybe the bass drum, or they break it up. My point is this: there are shuffles in every type of music that don't always have to have that connective eighth note swing. It can be implied. The verses of Reelin' in the Years is a great example, where it's just quarter notes with a 2 and 4, and the bass drum's playing the third note of the triplet. Now, connectively, we have ducka, 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 ducka there, but it's not one limb. This person said it should be on the snare or the hi-hat for it to be a shuffle. I totally disagree with that, and they're entitled to their opinion 100%. But to me, if you're going to stick to that, then you throw out many of what people consider to be the most important shuffles ever. Art Blakey's Moanin'. I did a video on that. I hear 5 different shuffles just in his performance of that. And it's based on the jazz ride pattern, not a continuous swing. But also there's times where he's playing the hands together, you know. That's nowhere near the tempo. That's just the point. He's doing that. So that doesn't have that connective constant ducka, ducka, ducka feel, but it's still considered one of the best shuffles and a prime example of what a jazz shuffle is. So my point is this: we could break apart so many different shuffles out there. Boston, the tune Smokin'. To me, I call it a shuffle. It is a shuffle feel. Okay? Does it have every bit of that connective ducka, 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 ducka through one limb? No. Is it broken up and it's implied? Yes. And I feel like a huge portion of a lot of what I call the contemporary shuffles have that. Okay? So my point is this, that a shuffle could be implied by feel. Is it a swing feel? Yes. If you take 80 straight feel and swing it, does that make it a shuffle? No, but it implies a shuffle or a swing feel. So I guess my question is, I want your opinion on this. What do you consider to be a shuffle? What fits into that category? Would you consider Reelin' in the Years a shuffle where a good portion of the tune is shuffle based, but parts of it aren't? Would you consider something like maybe Hound Dog or Jailhouse Rock to be shuffles? Or would you consider, some people call them rockabilly type shuffles, because there's not a connective tissue to make every bit of those swung eighth notes there. Most of those use the jazz ride pattern versus the straight shuffle, and then a backbeat, and then a bass drum might just be 1 and 3, or do, 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 do. A lot of country shuffles have that type of thing where we don't always have this. There's Texas shuffles that I've seen where they use a quarter note for the pattern, and then they leave off a note here, but then the bass drum might play on one. Does that mean that it's not a shuffle, or does that mean there's still some kind of connective tissue? So the point is, I'd like to see what your opinion is. We have so many different types of shuffles out there, and I believe that many feels can be implied shuffles where you don't actually have to have every single first and third note for it to be a shuffle. So give me your opinion. I'd like to hear what it is. Thanks.